right from the coast to up-country Brazil, and to the river Araguaia, one of the colossal tributaries of the Amazon about which most of us, me included, are colossally ignorant. 20 years ago, at a one-horse town called Barra de Garças, I had seen the Araguaia. Well, the town had multiplied, but the river looked just as gorgeous and enticing.
Okay?
Okay.
Ok, cuidado que aí vai pesar agora, hein?
Pode deixar. Vai pesar não, já pesou.
Mais dois pega.
Levanta, vai pesar muito.
Deixa eu baixar melhor.
I don't know why.
Try this one too, because I just did the screwdriver. As she came to my bedside as I lay fast asleep.
Okay. Oh, that's it. That's it.
Okay.
That's it.
That's it. Done.
Remarkable.
Ah! A spotlight on the stage.
Are they baking you? Yes.
Now is the winter of our discontent.
Yes.
Made glorious.
Son of yours.
There we go. Captain!
Right, well, what we were doing did make sense to us. A group of us had designed, built, transported, and were now ready for the off.
You must pilot the boat, yeah.
Yes, to us, it did make sense. But would it work? Would it even float? Would it take us down the Araguaia to meet the Amazon? If you want to go down a shallow river, have a wide boat with a draft in inches. And if you don't want fuel problems, burn wood and travel by steam. And if you want just to enjoy yourself, what a great combination. That's it, our pride and joy. I've always liked journeys, and what better way than in a sort of floating sitting room with steam up, a gentle clanking, plenty of wood on every hand, and well over 1,000 miles ahead of us. I can just watch the herons, the forest, the vultures, the sandbanks, and know that the current and the steam are both pushing us along. It was our principal helmsman, John Harwood, who first saw we had additional companions, a group of friendly mammals.
Oh, dolphins down here, look. They like the boat, don't they?
Jonathan, can you tell me, not where they are, but where they will be?
Yeah, over there.
Got that bit of water?
Yeah. Oh, sorry, wrong, hello.
Yeah, missed that one. Yes. Do you think these creatures were invented by Kodak to waste film?
Yeah, like babies.
Yeah, like babies, okay. Whoop.
Oh, the new one over there, look.
Yeah,
Further out.
yes. No, missed him or her.
Beautiful things, aren't they?
Well, what you see of them, 1 second,
You only see the snout sometimes, don't you?
you only see the snout sometimes, you occasionally hear a snort. A snort of disgust that you failed to photograph them. Missed. I think
Well, the same ones.
I'm going to have a grand collection of pictures of water. Oh. I think that's enough film for one day, of water.
In time, we got better at knowing where and when these river dolphins would surface, and they did like partnering our vessel as we headed slowly northwards. Practically every creature here is shot, hunted, caught, eaten, but there is a kind of taboo about dolphins, and there are still lots of them.
See that big noses?
At all events, dolphins were almost always snorting nearby, taunting us with their reappearances and letting photographers relax at the thought that they still be there on another day. There are also various tales about dolphins, and when girls become unexpectedly pregnant, sometimes it's claimed the deed was done by a dolphin, which I suppose is as good a story as any. John Harwood was undoubtedly the man most at home with the river and its various offerings.
It's very refreshing to see that there are jaguars still around, because one hears such a lot of them about them being in jeopardy. But you can see that it has these pad prints, just like the tabby cat back home.
But touch bigger.
Yeah,
That's a very
touch bigger.
sizable tabby cat, isn't it?
One of the peasants I was talking to upstream said that there were small black jaguars in the area. It's probably one of those.
So how long was it since it made that track, do you think?
I don't know. It's been a bit eroded by rain, and we haven't had rain for the last 3 or 4 days, so it's probably at 5, 6 days old at least.
And why would it come down to the river? Just to drink?
Well, jaguars are quite active in the water. They'll snatch fish out of the water like the tabby cat will snatch a goldfish out of a bowl. And they will pursue their prey into the water. They're quite agile swimmers.
Okay, let's see where he went off to.
Okay.
It's nice to see the tracks because you don't hear them at night, not like lions in Africa or leopards.
Yeah.
You don't hear the occasional or whatever noise they make. Our engineer was Jonathan Thornton. The engine, and he, I suppose, had been built in Britain. And he saw to its gland nuts, its lubrication, its delightfully external working parts, its easy rhythm. It was a permanent pleasure to remember that the whole thing was driven by driftwood, cast up on the shore and costing not a penny piece. As for Jonathan, breathing smoke or steam, he and the engine were in happy harmony. But map reading and reading the river correctly were necessary if we were not to be amazed that a river so broad could also be so shallow. Never mind the width, what's the depth?
Okay, we're in. Here we go. I think the right channel may be clear. Yeah, I think the sandbank's on our left. Have a look to the right and out front.
start pushing in a minute.
That would help it too much, wouldn't it? How far not even a very small alligator would get over that. Just hold on till John checks the channel, okay?
Right, okay, we're pushing.
Okay, pull it.
Yeah, let's just walk it down for a
Let's
bit.
just walk her through a bit and we'll see where we get to. Prop still in. Hole's clear, the prop's still dragging.
Bruno, a Brazilian, was the fourth member of our team with plenty of useful energy. So had our boiler, and it always blew off excess steam whenever we got stuck and had to use our own.
It's just about clear on the prop now. You go at it. It's still dragging. I think we're clear.
It was difficult reading the river right, but our boat, little more than a wooden platform on two aluminium canoes, was proving suitable for our journey along this mighty tributary of the yet mightier Amazon. The boat, designed on the back of an envelope, was 21 feet long by 10 feet wide, and just what the river required.
Get back to my calculations now.
We were all most content with our progress as day after day we headed north, downstream, towards the Amazon. An extra joy was just stopping anywhere for wood, for a bit of a walk, for dry-ish land, for a look at the world on either side, even if the wildlife that could move would vanish instantly.
Yeah, this is pretty, isn't it?
Very nice, but it gets flooded, doesn't it?
Yeah, this is the the floodplain here. This is an old alluvial island.
So how many months in a year is it flooded for then?
I don't know. Now this has got a substantial vegetation cover. I should think it's not even flooded every year now.
Beautiful.
The whole forest down on the house.
On.
I think that any Garden of Eden, natural, untouched, must have been an awful mess, with trees lying here and there, lots of death among the life, no feeling of order, and certainly no easy passageway for any Adam or Eve wandering through that untamed world. Open spots are a rarity in such a neighborhood.
Which has been one of the barriers against development up to now.
Yeah. This is worth it, brother.
I think it's good. May even be a bit of the Araguaia that's trickling through here from a long way upstream. It's much clearer than the main river, isn't it?
You can see from these roots how when they start becoming filamentous, whatever the word is.
Yeah. Well, you can see a lot of them don't actually touch the ground. That suggests that the water level's around here normally at some time of the year, and they start to
So what does it mean
branch out.
The water level goes up to the...
Well, you can see the water. You can see one water level here.
Yeah.
A rim mark here.
Yes.
We'll never know whether it's this year, last year, or whenever, but it certainly has been up there at some time. And of course, at some time, the river may come back here.
Come crashing right through the middle of it, as it were.
Yeah. Is it beautiful? I'm surprised he lets us get so near.
They seem very relaxed.
Yeah. Quite a nice one.
Maybe he's never met us before.
Bit less than 3 feet long. Very nice.
What does that mean in years?
Don't know, probably getting on for a couple of years, I think.
The caimans we saw ranged from this kind of youngster to individuals 2 or 3 times as long, but they were never a problem. Instead, the journey was in the main tranquility, with a leisurely pace that suited our own mood quite perfectly. But there is a fact, isn't there, that we all know for sure about Amazonia, and that's how certain fish can pick you clean instantaneously. Bruno and John set about catching some of them.
Oh, stop biting. Come on. Oh, well. Here they come. I think. No, escape.
Let's have a look.
No, it's here. Here they come.
Yeah, you got him.
Good one.
And I lost the bait.
Take care with the teeth. Ooh. Come on. Yes.
God, he's still wriggling.
Right, yeah.
Just be careful. Gosh, look at those
What
teeth.
is teeth?
Piranha's a big family. There are all sorts of different spotted ones, black ones, some herbivorous ones.
Herbivorous?
Yeah,
Oh, look at that.
but the one people know about is this one. Barbaridad. This is the cashew piranha. That's the most aggressive type. See the red on it?
Oh, really?
Yeah. Cashew
cashew?
after the cashew fruit, which has that colour.
Uh-huh.
Could you just bait my hook, please, Andy?
Could I ask what you two are doing?
We're fishing for the dreaded red-bellied piranha.
Are they the ones that skin a man within seconds?
That's what they say in the books.
But surely there's more than one kind, so you sure this is the dreaded kind?
Pretty sure. Have you seen its teeth?
I can feel the odd nibble. Which bits do they go for first?
They're the sensitive areas.
I don't have too many sensitive areas.
You won't in a minute.
I'm still here in one piece. Count my fingers.
Let me see if
Oh, no matter.
So, you want me to catch one over your left shoulder?
Allowed for catch piranhas also. Oh, here comes one.
Yeah.
Just pass
Sorry.
me. Wait a minute. Hang on. The dreaded piranha?
Yes.
Yes. Oh, well. Well, I don't know where the story came from, but I'm sure it'll continue, just as I'm sure I still have 10 fingers and all my sensitive areas. And our journey continued with that sitting room of a deck, a nice awning to keep the sun off, a pile of logs to keep the boiler happy, a watering can for emergency if the fire has to be put out, and one very relaxed stoker sitting across from John, who was reading the river correctly, enabling all of us just to watch the world go by. Our new boiler had a youngster's appetite, needing about 400 weight of wood for a day's steaming. As I was neither engineer nor river expert, I generally got the job as stoker. As for Bruno, he was also a still photographer, sometimes incredibly still. but none of us knew what might be around the next corner, such as the hoatzin, which can hardly fly, flutter badly from tree to tree, and have a hook on each wing. Some classify them as a kind of pigeon, some a kind of pheasant, but they're certainly unlike any other bird, save that they moved out of sight as we moved past their chosen trees. But then, who were we to worry about classification, being quite unlike any other kind of boat? Every evening, as the sun sank behind the trees, there came the happy business of choosing a sandbank on which to spend the night.
I think a line more to the right side of the river now.
Okay.
It wasn't difficult, even for a stoker, and Bruno's depth gauge always helped.
I can see a pretty good beach coming up on this right-hand curve, on the inside of the curve.
The river is 2 meters deep.
Looks very nice. Trees, bit of dead wood, comfortable sand.
Well, I wasn't bringing in the QE2, but you can still make a mess of things.
Ready she goes, Captain.
And it was a Smith who captained the Titanic.
I'm gonna blow.
Every evening, we took some of the boiler fire ashore to become instant campfire. It was all pure enchantment, but sometimes we realized we weren't quite alone on our chosen sandbank.
Let's go over the top and see if we can see anything up on the top of this little platform here. What is it?
Maybe he's on the vegetation here. Let's follow the footprints. Can you help me? There are some footprints here that I cannot know what is real. It can be a capybara, but there are some that can be the Lancelot. I don't know. I'm not sure about this.
If it was a Lancelot, then this is Lady Guinevere. But Bruno's animal was an ocelot, or a capybara. That's if it felt like showing itself.
There is.
But of course, most creatures have no wish to show themselves when a bunch of aliens suddenly arrive on what is, after all, their chosen sandbank.
But the problem is he knows it better than we do. See if we can find any new tracks here.
Look, 4 footprints. One for this side. So that.
Fish, some old fish scales there. Oh, well, I think we're just going to have to wait a little. Let things quieten down and perhaps you'll come out again.
Even if you're
Well, we'll have
or for joining in.
we'll have a quick one.
I've never heard you play a quick one yet.
Well, you can all relax. Still got a tune though. E di sogni e di pu, o destino di sol, feito io perdido em pensamento sobre meu cavalo. E di laço e di nó, de gibera o giló, nesta vida comprida ao sol. Sou caipira, pirapora, Nossa Senhora de Aparecida, Illumina-me no escuro e fundo o trem da minha vida. Sou caipira, Pirapora, Nossa Senhora de Aparecida. Ilumina-me no escuro e fundo o trem da minha vida. O meu pai foi peão, minha mãe, solidão. Meus irmãos perderam-se na vida em busca de aventuras. Descasei, joguei, investi, desisti. Se a sorte eu não sei, nunca vi. Sou caipira, Pirapora, Nossa Senhora de Aparecida. Ilumina-me no escuro e fundo o trem da minha vida. Sou caipira, Pirapora, Nossa Senhora de Aparecida. Ilumina-me no escuro e fundo o trem da minha vida.
To wake with the dawn always seems so right. And in our 4 little encampments, we each took stock of another bright blue sky, even if poor Bruno had lost by now 1 contact lens. Perhaps we were all uncertain whether our eyes deceived us, as we awoke to a different place each day, as we relished this form of wilderness, as we knew that such serenity would surely be trampled on by progress before so very long. These sandbanks only appear when each year's floodwater has receded, and so they are like newly washed beaches, perfect for passing travellers who, after coffee, put fire back into the boiler, the eternal flame that warmed us every evening and drove us every day.
There's a lot of light wood in this.
But when these sandbanks surface, they also act as warning that rocks on the bottom aren't quite so deep as formerly. It wasn't always plain sailing or plain floating or plain steaming. There were, for example, rapids, whose rocks could make terrible holes in us if we didn't read the racing current right.
Straight down the middle, you'll be all right.
I think it's quite deep, it's just there's a lot of water moving about. And straight down the middle.
Go to the bank and then take it into the right. Here we go, boys.
Why I inflated my life jacket.
Interesting.
Terrific.
We We were getting to know our river Araguaia and our boat, and after several weeks and hundreds of miles could relax a touch, even if there was far more river ahead of us. But there was still lots to learn, such as wind. One day, shamefacedly, we laughed all the way to the bank as a wind forced us to the shore, and there we had to stay. At least we could reflect, or pretend to be doing so. How extraordinary that the river was so empty. We had passed settlements and the occasional fishermen, but much of the river was as it had always been. So, as thought number one, can it possibly stay so beautiful? As for my companions and their thoughts, well, John always catered for our stomachs. Bruno did his thing with his cameras, and Jonathan, keeping a long way from his socks, read about earlier explorers and what had happened to them when encountering Amazonia. As thought number two, where were all the Indians? This area around Bananal had belonged to the all-powerful Carajás, but smoke on the horizon told of a non-Indian attitude to living here, of invasive development, of modern times, of forest destruction, of clearing the land of its trees. Well, it wasn't so much that we found surviving Indians. One morning we woke up to discover that they had found us.
Mas você craque de pescar esse negócio?
Eles pegaram bem aqui.
Eh?
Eles pegaram bem aqui.
He got them right here, just where we camped.
How did he get them?
He gets them with a hook.
In the water, presumably.
Yes, yes. You see the difference between the two. This is what they call tartaruga. This one's tracajá. And you see, it's just like snakes. You can identify them by the markings on the head.
Esse tracajá tem ovo.
He says
É,
this one's got eggs in it as well.
esse aqui é tartaruga. Esse é pequeno, grande tem.
How does he know this one has eggs in it?
Como que você sabe que tem ovo lá dentro?
Porque nós sabemos.
He says he just knows.
So have we agreed a price yet for these?
Well, I think so. Quanto você está pedindo nesses aí, Arutana?
300.
300.
É.
He wants 300 for each. 300 for this, 300 for this. No,
Even though one's much bigger, and the one with the eggs. All right, that seems fair.
I think turtles are 300 each.
Yes, fixed price. Yeah, I never bought a turtle before. Okay, well, let's clinch the deal with, let's see, it was the gentleman over there, wasn't it?
Oh, dono, that's it, você, não é?
É.
Oh, this one. Right. That saves him going to market, doesn't it?
Agora,
The Indians were at least staying alive better than when I'd first seen them 20 years ago. But their current lifestyle, bargaining, selling animals, wanting our things, was hardly in keeping with the old days when they used to rule this land.
8, 9. Now put your money on them.
Right, I put 300 to that on him. Rather. It is interesting, this green back, isn't it?
Yeah.
I don't know. Oh, what speed. Come on, sack back. Can't go yet. Can't go yet.
Well, I think yours was about a 300 cruzados.
I think May won that race feet down. Having purchased the turtles, we of course let them go, to be caught again another day. Then, as ever, it was on and on down the Araguaia, now 1,000 miles from our starting place, and a month in time. You need a lot of patience when away from home, said John, quite frequently. There were settlements from time to time, frontier towns, a bit rough and ready, and we tended to stop off, to have a look, to buy food, to wonder yet again at the kind of encroachment upon our riverside.
There's one horse.
Yep.
Bits of Amazonia are booming, where there's gold maybe, but other bits are simply biding their time, and perhaps watching the strangers who hit town. While Clint Bruno looked after the boat, the rest of us checked out the town, as men are supposed to do. And then it was back to our idyll of a voyage, to the journey of a lifetime, with nothing but logs to push us along, and our steadily widening river of some 2,000 miles from top to toe. The Thames, by the way, is nearer 200. The trees grew taller as we came nearer the equator, becoming rainforest trees, majestic giants sprouting from the entanglement down below. Naturally, as soon as convenient, we went to have a look. After piranha, there is one other product of nature which everyone knows comes from this part of the world.
Is this what we've been looking for? Yeah. This one looked a particularly nice one from outside. You see it's very, very tall, very wide. Must be well over 6 feet in diameter. Do you know what it is?
Yeah, a very big, tall tree, well over 6 feet in diameter.
Well, it's one of the typical emergent trees of the rainforest. Should be plenty of its fruit underneath.
Uh-huh. For instance, what I've just walked on.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Except
nice.
all the seeds have gone out of that one. You can see the teeth marks there.
Oh, so somebody
Some
has
little
eaten
animals
it,
have
have they?
been nibbling away.
That's pretty hard.
See if we can find a full one somewhere.
Uh-huh. Yeah, a lot of them.
Yeah, another one here.
Yeah. That's a nice full one.
Well, you're going to cut it open.
Well, presumably that's what it's for.
Well, you'll recognise it when you get in there.
Will I?
Yeah.
Okay. Just one
Put
blow.
it on the ground and hit it hard.
Yeah. Okay. Right.
You want to try this finger? It's a bit sharper.
Okay.
Good shot.
Let's have my old panga
No,
back.
I think that was good.
Ah,
Same
good.
again.
Same again.
Just keep going.
In the same place.
You'll realise what good work these rodents do getting into these. Now you have to just
Yes.
keep going.
That doesn't seem to be winning. Let's just use yours and get it out. Right. Maybe I could use two.
Keep going.
Okay. Same place, exactly.
In
is
rapid
it?
succession. One in each
Rapid.
hand.
It doesn't matter about rapidity. Okay, aiming for there.
This is a fruit, you say, is it?
That's the whole fruit.
I can understand why apples and pears caught on.
Yes.
Fruits to eat.
Well, you know why they're so expensive in British shops.
Let's smash the other
Can I
one.
have a try? For
You have a try, yeah? Why shouldn't you fail? Nice.
They are incredibly hard.
Yeah, noticing that. Mind your fingers, because they're not incredibly hard. Oh, a different technique. This is more of your nibble.
We're mimicking nature here. Maybe what we want is a pet kuchia. Those are the things that eat them.
A kuchia being an agouti.
Oh yes,
An
kuchia.
agouti is a little animal about a 50th of your size, so it nibbles away.
It's virtually the only thing that can get through these hard
Have you
shells.
tried nibbling?
It's never good the price of a pound of Brazil nuts again in your
Brazil
life.
nuts, you say?
That's it. You can see them there, beginning.
Or nestling.
Let's see if we can get one out.
Yes. Getting there?
About it. Yeah, they're beginning.
There you are. A nut.
Oh, there's a whole one.
A whole one.
And you've
So-
still got to take the wooden shell off though.
Yes. So the agouti presumably finds this child's play relative to the outside.
Yes.
After all our labour, get the end result. That's the most Brazil nut taste I've ever tasted.
Good, is it?
Yes, I don't know if it was worth all the work.
Without the agouti, there would be no germination. But Brazil nut trees need more than helpful little animals in order to survive. We were appalled suddenly to see some of these trees standing as ghosts of their former selves. A drowned forest, and drowned for a distance of 120 miles, or London to Bristol. The undergrowth had gone, but the giants still stood, dead monuments to themselves, and as depressing a sight as can be seen. In a way, when you're at the bottom of a forest, you long to be among the tops, but not this way, where the trees are but a silent graveyard of what they used to be. So why the water? Why had our river Araguaia taken leave of its senses and destroyed its neighborhood, so that our journey became more like a piece of ocean travel than the meandering beauty we had enjoyed? Well, we knew what was ahead and did not welcome it. Our journey had to conclude sometime, but the solid barrier at its ending silenced all of us. Tucuruí Dam, the fourth most powerful in the world, generating enough electricity to satisfy the whole of London, the emphatic finish to our tranquil cruise downstream. So is this how things will be around the Amazon? This single dam with the world's largest spillway generates 8,000 megawatts. But the tributaries in general have 100,000 waiting to be tapped, and that's not counting the Amazon itself. 75 more dams are planned for the next 20 years. So will concrete replace the sandbanks, and will the rivers become reservoirs, each drowning yet another piece of Amazonia? The power will go mainly to extract the ores, and the forests and the rivers will go to cater for development, for a booming population, for progress, for change, for the modern way of doing things. The dam is proof that an age-old innocence will be ravished in due course. As for us, we had seen a piece of the old days, a most excellent and majestic river. We had steamed along its ancient path and had kept the Araguaia company for all those nights and days.